Set? Okay, good evening and welcome to the April 2025 Orange Board of Selectmen meeting. In the event of an emergency, everybody probably came down through that doorway on your left, my right. If there's an emergency, you would use that door. Please let the fire chiefs go first. And if not, they can run out the back door and they'll go right over to the firehouse. It'll save them a lot of time. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I'm going to start with the iced tea man on that side, iced coffee man tonight on that side.
This is Coffee Jim. PJ Shanley, welcome everybody.
Ann Denny, Secretary to the Board.
Vince Marino, Town Attorney.
John Carangelo, good evening.
Bill Kraut. Mitch Goldblatt.
Thank you very much. Judy Williams is not able to be with us tonight. I ask you to please say a prayer for her. With that, is there a motion to close the meeting and move to public hearing?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. The request is to approve the Blue Moon Massage and Spa as a massage establishment, and we have to read the call on that. Notice is hereby given to the applicant and persons interested in the affairs of the town of Orange that a public hearing will be held at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, April 9th, 2025, in the lower level meeting room of the Orange Town Hall, 617 Orange Center Road, Orange, Connecticut, 06477, on a certificate of compliance for Blue Moon Massage and Spa at 501 Boston Post Road, Unit 2, Orange, Connecticut, 06477. Under the Town of Orange ordinance concerning massage establishments, sections, and it lists them all, the applicant has indicated an intention to conduct a spa establishment. Copies of the town ordinance and of the applicant's applications are available for review in the first selectman's office at the town hall, dated Orange, Connecticut, this 27th day of March, 2025, and it's signed by the town clerk and myself. Thank you. Presenter, you're up, both of you. You have to give your name for the record.
Craig Beers and Xiaojun Huang. It's already in existing business. It's been there about 7 years. She's worked there. She's just buying her partner out.
Okay, so nothing's going to change?
Nothing.
Nothing,
Just the ownership.
Just
strictly.
ownership.
Yeah.
Okay. It is an established business already. I don't know if any of you have been there. If not, any questions for them? Otherwise, it's just a business arrangement. Any questions? Yep. Anybody in the audience have any questions on it? Foyer, you need anything there? You know? Okay, then. All right, with that said, we'll close the public hearing on it and take a vote on it. It's that easy. You still have time to go home, make dinner.
So do we step out? Or?
You can
Oh, okay.
just back to your seats. All right, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
CJ and John? Okay. All those in favor of approving the Blue Moon Massage and Spa as a massage establishment?
We vote to close the public hearing, now we need to vote to.
Yeah. They did that part.
Yeah.
Okay. Follow my lead, Mitch, you'll be all right. Okay.
Mitch wants to close the public.
Okay, we already did. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed, abstained? That's it? That's it? All right. Okay, I gotta get my announcements out here. Public participation. Public participation is for any item that is not an agenda item. We allow 2 minutes per speaker for any of those items. Anybody in the audience? Seeing none? Table, Mitch? I knew it.
Wow. It's the last meeting before our big event. Orange Recycling Event, Shredding Day and more, Saturday, May 3rd, 9 a.m. till noon. We'll have, in the front of High Plains, we'll have paper shredding as usual. We'll also be collecting electronic waste and electronics that people bring. There'll be a slight charge for those. Cell phones are $5, tablets $10, computers $20. They will all be destroyed properly to take care of the e-waste. Up front, we also have the mattresses and box springs. If anyone wants to get theirs picked up, they can call Ken or Mary Ann at 203-795-3906. The Orange Lions Club will then pick up the mattress and/or box spring for a nominal charge of $15 each and bring it to High Plains, or people can bring it themselves to High Plains. We'll be collecting mattresses and box springs. There'll be a household items, clothing, toys, et cetera, both the Orange Community Women and Buy Nothing Orange. There'll be a swap meet going on for Buy Nothing Orange from 9 to 11. And Orange Community Women will be collecting toys, household goods, clothing, shoes, sporting goods, CDs, DVDs, et cetera. They sell that to fund their charitable work. And we're also going to have the hazardous household waste disposal collection. That'll be behind High Plains at the Cuzzacrio Rotary Pavilion. Go down Tribute Trail, around the back of High Plains. We urge people to fill out online a questionnaire first. It's very simple. You go to R Water, that's the letter R, water.com. The form will be available 2 weeks before the event. If you forget, you can fill it out while you're in your car. It's just a quick electronic form to fill out to basically say what kind of waste is being brought to the event. That's household hazardous waste, and we thank the Water Authority for holding this satellite collection there. We also thank the Rotary Club for sponsoring the Shredding Day. People will be asked for contributions to their scholarship fund. Please give generously. We also thank the Orange Highway Department for helping us up with signs to be set up for in sawhorses and cones for the day as well. So a lot of people involved, a lot of groups involved, and we just hope to everybody come out and good time for spring cleaning. Thank you, Jim.
Very good. The only thing I will say, add to that is, if you bring mattresses and box springs to the transfer station, they are not recycled by a separate location there. They go right into the hopper there. Please don't leave them by the Goodwill trailer. Don't think there's a separate spot to put them for recycling. At the transfer station, they go right into the hopper. So bring them there, or have somebody pick them up, and the Lions can make a few dollars on it, which would be nice.
Jim, just a quick public.
Yes, John.
I just wanted to give a shout out to the Amity Boys hockey team. They won the SECs this year. Shout out to the coach. He's really turned the program around the last 2 years. They've been doing very well. So unfortunately, they lost to Cheshire in the States, but we'll get them next time.
This is true. This is true. Anybody else? Seeing none. The Board of Finance budget hearing. Now, that's where you get to see the budget and the input of the budget, is at the Board of Finance hearing, not at the Selectmen's annual meeting. Tuesday, April 22nd at 7 p.m. in the cafeteria at the Community Center. Tuesday, April 22nd, 7 p.m. in the cafeteria at High Plains. The Amity Budget Referendum, which is held at High Plains, all districts, Tuesday, May 6th, from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. All districts, vote in that building. Don't go to Mariel, don't go to Turkey Hill, don't go anywhere else. High Plains, Tuesday, May 6th. That's the Amity budget. We actually got a bonus from Amity this year. Our increase from Amity is only $54,000. Woodbridge got the lion's share this year at like $1.5 million. But we've had those years with $1.5 million, $1.8 million, so we passed it along to Woodbridge for this year. The annual town meeting, which is at High Plains Community Center in the gym, is Wednesday, May 14th at 7:30 PM. That's where we receive the budget, but you have to go to the budget hearing to talk about the budget. The Town of Orange budget referendum, that's where you vote on the whole thing, is Wednesday, May 21st, from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. at High Plains Community Center. Only at High Plains, all districts, all vote there. Town offices will be closed on Friday, April 18th for Good Friday holiday, but the transfer station will be open. Okay. Minutes. To consider and act on the minutes of the March 12th, 2025 public hearing and regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen. If there's any errors, omissions, or corrections, please state page and paragraph.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
All right. All in favor? Opposed? Abstain? One abstention? Okay, very good. New business, to consider and act on requests from the Orange Lions Club to waive the facility fee for the use of the High Plains cafeteria on Friday, April 25th for a military whist, which is a card game. I think George Lesko is here. You're going to speak to it, George? Sure. I thought you might.
To help you with your decision, Jim and I bumped into each other the other day, and I brought along some more Dunkin' Donuts. Give a shout out to the Dunkin'
Duck Donuts, duck, duck,
Duck,
duck.
D-U-C-K.
Not Dunkin', duck. Yes, we did their ribbon cutting the other day.
Yes,
George
and,
was there getting a dozen all for himself. He sat in the corner like a mouse.
And trying to make some money for the Orange Lions. We're a organization that deals with the community and charities, and we're having one of our annual fundraisers, as Jim mentioned, on April 25th. It's a Friday. It's only $15. It's a card party, and Ann, if I may give
have
this
the
to
Easter
you,
egg
and
hunt on
maybe
here.
you can pass it around. We're hoping to get somewhere about 70, 80 people, and by the end of the day,
supposed to be this
you're-
Sunday or
you have met all of the individuals who are there. It's a nice social, and again, only $15, and the proceeds goes to all our charities. As a matter of fact, on Monday, for all our collections from last year, we're distributing to about 14 different organizations on a Monday at the Senior Center. If you'd like to come by, you're welcome to join us.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Lesko on waiving the fees for the military for the Lions?
And that money will come back to the charities, and thank you hope you consider it.
Motion's made, is there a second? Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous. Mr. Lesko just reminded me, I just said something to Ian, the Lions Club Easter egg hunt is supposed to be this Saturday.
Yes.
And Mother Nature doesn't look heading in the right direction, I guess I'll say on it. So I'm gonna say, watch the sign out in front of High Plains if they postpone it or cancel it or shift it to another type of situation. But the Lions Club Easter egg hunt is supposed to be this Saturday out at the fairgrounds.
And we're strongly considering moving it to the 19th. It looks that way. You all might have heard the Yukon women, they postponed their parade from Saturday to Sunday. And, so it's not looking good for the weather.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
All right, George. Yes, we did have, now that he brought those up, we had the ribbon cutting this week for Duck Donuts. Down there, it was quite a crowded event. There were a lot of people there. It's rather interesting. They're a cake donut with all different types of toppings and stuff on them. It's kind of really across from the Post Road Firehouse, Carlos. So when you go down there, just watch for the firehouse and take a left and you're in. They even have a drive-through, for those of you who don't know that.
They're next to that old restaurant, what was it,
They're next to Ola and, what else is there? And Wasabi.
right?
Yeah, they're where the Smoothie King was.
Yes.
Okay. Item number 2, I knew Foyer was here for something, just wasn't sure what. To consider an act on request to waive the bids for replacement of the Highway Department radio system. You have it in front of you from Mr. Britton on that. Oh, boy.
Good evening, all. We have a two-way radio system that is older than any one of us in this room. Back in the 1960s, when I was a lot younger, the calling letters were KCI 229, the Town of Orange Police, Fire, and Highway, along with the Town of Woodbridge Police, Fire, and Highway, were all on the same frequency.
I remember that.
Times were a lot simpler back then. It is a low-band, obsolete radio system. Around the 1990s, the Town of Woodbridge went on their own. At the same time, Assistant Chief Tony Kuzo was working on a project to get police, fire, and highway on the high-band radio. Well, the police were successful. They got their own high-band radio. Fire department went off on their own. They got their own. And we were stuck with the old KCI 229. This past fall, as we prepare the vehicles for the next upcoming season, the winter season, we discovered that 6 of our radios were either not transmitting or receiving. For the past 40-plus years, we have used a company in Stratford called Comtronics. Repairman by the name of John, he knew this system like the back of his hand. Well, John retired, and Comtronics closed their doors. So we currently had no one to maintain our radio system. So I called next door to Assistant Chief Max Martins over there and asked, I knew they used the utility, so I asked him for contact information over there. So he gave me a gentleman, Bob Mansfield, and which I called, and Bob knew of our system. He knew it was a low band, and he knew it was a fairly old system. So I told him that we had a few vehicles that are in need of attention and asked if he could help us out. So next day, he had a service guy out there first thing in the morning, and so I told him we were down a couple of vehicles, and I said to him, before we even get started, I said, let's start with the base station. So I took him, the base station is next door here at the firehouse up in the attic. So I took him up there, I pulled the attic stairs down, and I kind of warned him when he go up. I said, the system's a little old. So he climbs up there, and you could just hear him going, wow, this thing is old. He says, I don't think you can get parts for this thing anymore. So he took a couple pictures of it, came down, and I said to him, get me in contact with your salesperson, and so we can start looking into a whole new system. And then in the meantime, he went down and he was able to fix 4 of the 6 that were down. So there's 2 that are just completely do not work. So I contact Don Waldo, who was in the audience tonight, in case we have any questions on the specs. Came out, we went through the system, and there's 25 vehicles along with the base station and some remotes at the highway garage. So we talked from there. And he came up with a proposal last fall. And so I went to John Cifarelli, Finance Director, and asked him if there was any possibility of emergency funding or anything else. So John asked if it's possible if we could wait till spring, see how the winter goes, and if we have some winter money left over, we could use that. So we agreed to that, no problem. So with this new system, the police department will be able to communicate with us. Right now, they cannot. And basically, that's what it's all about. The system is obsolete, and so we're looking to waive the bids because utility does the police department as well as the Board of Ed school buses, number one. And I guess I think you guys have the packet as what it is. It comes out roughly to around 47, so we're looking for basically 50,000
Of course you are.
out of the leftover winter money. Again, Don is here from Utilities, if we have any questions on the specs. But
I think there's 26 vehicles.
26? Yours?
Just kidding. Questions for Mr. Foyer? Yeah?
John, since the fire department's gone off on their own, does it make sense to replace this at the fire station or to put this in new at the highway garage or the PD where it's closer to where your vehicles are? Does that make a difference or?
I kind of refer that to Don. You wanna come up?
Up there. He already warned you.
I'll leave that one up to you.
The elevation is higher here, and
Okay.
on the fire station building, the antenna would go up rather than down where the garage is.
Okay. Is it going to lead to any additional tower wires or antenna out of the fire department that's not already there?
No, actually, we can use the same.
Could we put it on the new tower at the police department? We just spent a fortune for that.
That's a possibility too, but also at a lower
I
elevation.
like the way you think. That way there's already a tower existing. Saves money.
Well, actually, we would just use the same brackets and put the new antenna, UHF antenna, right where it is. So
Okay.
get the advantage of the height
Okay.
in the town.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Board of, Mr. Cifarelli said there's enough money left there for that. He didn't tell me
Yes.
about this one today.
Yeah.
He told me about it. He never said.
Yeah,
He was
there's
supposed to look to
it's-
see.
Yep, we have enough salt money left over. The salt bin down at the highway garage is full, so we're good there. We're gonna use that money.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve
So
as
moved.
requested? Motion is made and seconded.
So Jim, just to clarify, this is for up to 50,000 to be transferred from the balance of the winter money. Does that have to go to the Board of Finance as well then?
This is a recommendation
Recommendation
to the Board of Finance.
To do exactly that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Unanimous.
Thank you.
When is this, I didn't ask, when is this going to start?
She's gonna get the PO tomorrow.
Right, about 4 minutes.
Manufacturing of the radios is about 8 weeks out.
So in the summer,
We have to get an FCC license for the new.
Summer.
Yeah.
it won't be like the bucket truck we're waiting for that's been a year. Okay. Yeah, so it's Christmas, literally. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, I already crossed this off, that's why I'm in the wrong spot. And the one that a couple have been waiting for. To consider an act on request to authorize First Selectman to execute all easement documents necessary for the Pine Tree Drive Peck Lane Culvert Project and to execute the project authorization letter to allow the project to proceed to bidding ASAP after the final design submission is approved by CONDOT, because that is a, which acronym is that one? That's LOTSIP, yeah. Thank you. I've run through the Council of Governments. Yep. All right. Bob, do you want to come up here to speak to that? Since you have two ladies sitting there waiting to make sure we vote the wrong way on it or something.
Yeah, hopefully self-explanatory. We're getting ready to make this the major submission to DOT, after which we will be able to go out to bid and then get the money. And one of the last things we have to do is get the easements, and I think the documents are almost finalized. And rather than waiting until next month or the month after, just asking for you guys to authorize the First Selectman to sign the easements, as well as the PAL, the Project Authorization Letter, that will come after the submission, which is basically just saying what the project is and what the final dollar amount is.
All right, so my question is, next, I think I know the answer, but is it just the two ladies that are sitting here have easements, or is there somebody
And then,
else involved?
and then one
who's-
more across from the school.
Okay, so that's not Cheryl that far down.
Right, one of your
Okay.
neighbors. Yeah, that's,
Next door, okay. So it's Carla on one side, Cheryl on the other, all the way down your strip, and then there's one more person.
and it's, the house is on Hawthorne, but
Yeah.
this is the backyard, yeah.
Okay, all
That's
right.
it.
So will they have to come in to sign documents for that, or?
They certainly can. I mean, they could have their own attorney do it, or, but we say you can come in. If Vin's here, you can do it, or we have notary publics. It's,
All right, so
it
just,
easy.
at some point, you'll be signing also. All right,
absolutely.
that's why. I was wondering the same thing, Carla, that's why I was not quite sure.
Bob, these easements, are they a permanent easement or just for construction purposes? I mean, is it going to take part of their land to make, to widen the
I
culvert?
believe they're, in this case, all three properties have both. There's usually a small permanent, if like if a little
Construction
bit
and
of the
permanent.
head wall goes on, put a
Okay.
bigger one just for the grading and stuff for construction.
Okay.
That
And does
goes
that
way
mean,
after
does that
the,
mean that the piece of that property then becomes the town's property? Or, I mean, is it,
They're just easements, so
They're gonna be by the road
okay.
in both locations.
but the ownership of the property doesn't change. We just
Okay.
have the rights to.
I mean, we can't dedicate it as open space to people only be able to take 2 steps.
Well, okay.
So it won't be a long path.
It's a utility.
Yeah.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion made?
Motion, second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous. Thank you. Next one is to consider an act on the Orange Volunteer Fire Association, Inc. funding agreement. This group at this board and many others worked on this. We had 3 executive meetings on it, and then it went back and forth multiple times between the town and the fire department. Any questions from reading the document? It was all provided to everybody. I think it was pretty well hammered out as we worked through it.
Jim, is this something we should, you or somebody should explain to the public what we're doing here?
No,
Okay.
I will. This is, for the last, I don't know how many years it's been, Charlie would know better than I, but the fire department has received a $190,000 donation, I believe is the most recent total. And the fire department, it costs a lot more money to run things. They've had downturns in fundraising and other revenue sources, while they still do pursue grants and other funding types. It gets harder and harder to outfit and equip both with machinery and safety protective gear and the tools that are used at the various types of calls that they deal with. And so there were just many discussions circling around, and ultimately, trying to think exactly how it happened. I think Charles, I don't know, called me, I forget, and so we had an initial meeting, and then we put a committee together, and the committee was made up of members of the Board of Finance, members of our legal team, all of the Board of Selectmen, 5 members of the fire department. Sorry, that's my cousin calling me. I think that's about the full group that met. We met for 3 sessions down at High Plains Community Center and worked it out. And ultimately, the agreement that was put forward was in this budget that will take place July 1, 2025. There will be a $200,000 increase in the amount donated to the fire department to continue to run their operation. And in the next fiscal year, which is July 1st, 2026, it will increase again by the same amount, and that brings them to the majority of their budget and funding as needed to operate the fire department. And for those of you at home that are watching, remember the town already owns the buildings. The town does a lot of the maintenance, but not all of the maintenance. The fire department does pay for some things too. And the Post Road Firehouse, the fire marshal's offices operate out of there also. So we do pick up expenses there, but we do cover a lot of fire department expenses beyond just this cash donation. However, it is still the most reasonably funded fire department providing service to a municipality, I'm going to say in most of the suburban state of Connecticut. You may find a rural area that might be, a one-truck town, but Orange is not one of those communities. So I think that for the health, safety, welfare of all the residents and businesses and taxpayers of the town of Orange, it's a very fair agreement on both sides of the aisle. How's that, Mitch? Sound close?
Very good.
Thank you. With that said, is there a motion to approve? It was approved last night by the membership of the fire department. Do you, before we go any further, I should ask, do either of you chiefs wish to speak to it? You should plug your 100th anniversary, chief.
So I'm Charlie Sherwood, I'm the Deputy Chief, and on behalf of all the members, I would just like to thank the Board of Selectmen. You were there for, as the first selectman indicated, 3 meetings. I think each one ran an hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever. We appreciate all the work that you did with that. Attorney Marino, the same thanks goes to you. I know you've been discussing it with our attorney back and forth, and it takes a long time to get these things finished, but when they are, they're quality. So again, our appreciation to everybody here for supporting the fire department. And also, as you say, Jim, this is our 100th year. We just had the dinner dance. It was a big success. We have a number of other events coming up, including the parade and hosting the convention. So we look forward to sharing that with the town, and we look forward to all of you participating. Thank you.
Thank you. As Chief Sherwood just said, for those of you at home that don't realize that, the Orange Volunteer Fire Association was incorporated and was the recognized fire service to the town of Orange starting in 1925. And so they are at 100 years of service. And so people are aware, the week before the Orange Fair, I believe, in September, the State of Connecticut Firemen's Association will be holding their convention in the town of Orange, and there will be a large parade that will start at Wolf Park and will proceed up Meeting House Lane and down Orange Center Road to the field under the power lines in that area on that side of the community center. So people need to be aware of that. And Mr. Pisano, you need to be aware of that also for that weekend. I don't know if you have soccer then or not, but yeah, so many people will be amazed, but it'll be the second parade of the season. And then, of course, the third will be Mr. Foyer's. I can't leave him out, as he said, is sitting in the audience there. But, so the town of Orange is very fortunate, and we have this agreement before us. Motion's made. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous.
Thank you.
So be it. To consider and act on the agreement between the Orange Board of Education and the Orange Teachers League. As we've done for many years, the contract is really between the Board of Education. It does have impact on the taxpayers of Orange, but it's approved and negotiated by the Board of Education. not by the first selectman and finance administration over here. And did get you a red line copy.
Thank you.
You have the option of taking no action and it's adopted, or you can take a favorable action on it and it would be adopted. If you take an unfavorable action on it, I am not quite sure because we've never had that happen.
Oh, we did, a long time ago. Ended up arbitration where we lost.
Okay, so there you go. Any questions with that agreement? Mitchell, did you have any?
No, I
PJ?
think it's,
Bill?
it's good. I mean, it's, it's
The
a
one who's,
contract.
the
There's
one
nothing-
who's most well-versed on it is
There's
sitting over here
nothing
now.
that stands out as
So,
being unreasonable.
Yeah, get this out of the way.
I see that they're moving to the high deductible health plan for everyone at this point, which is probably a smart move and what's going on with healthcare costs. So if you want, Jim, I can make a motion to approve, or is that we approving or we
We either let it sit, approve it,
approve? Okay.
or take no action, which
I'll make a
I'd
mo-
let it sit.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement between the Orange Teachers League and the Orange Board of Education for July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2028.
Motion is made and seconded. Any other discussion on it? Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous. Just so you know, we're starting negotiations with four other units, and one unit in particular, we are looking at, they'll have the option of HSA or the traditional plan that we have currently. That's starting to flow into the town side of happenings also. Even, however, their contracts run out, June 30 this year, but timeliness and getting everything in and all, it wouldn't actually happen until it's spring. It wouldn't actually take effect according to our health insurance advisors till July 1, 26, in order to get once it's agreed, to get everybody on board with it. But it does have quite a bit of help for the town if you get that in. I think the Board of Ed is all on that now. Yeah, no, they are. Yeah. So, well, it may here too, so. Okay, thank you. Did we vote? Okay, good. Tiny livestock over here. Okay, number 6. Before I even read this, I gotta say, this one's all on Ann Denny.
Thank you, Ann.
I'll read the title. To consider an act on the fireworks for 2026, not 25. I'm not making a mistake. So Ann had taken over last year, I think, the fireworks for the 4th of July event. Well, she's developed a relationship with this guy. I think isn't this the guy who you got through Donnie? Yeah, in Maine. And so he calls her up, or she calls him up to make sure they're set for this year. And he says, well, with the tariff problems and all these other things going on, he goes, would you be willing to sign it up for 26 with a basically fixed growth to it now for next year? So Ann asked me, I said, sounds good to me, put it on for the Board of Selectmen. So this one's all on Ann, just so you know. So, sorry for the day, you're looking for the same show at 19,000 on the 3rd of July, for 26, correct? I'd entertain that prospect to forego a bidding process. Do you think the town would accept a 10 to 15% increase for the 26 if the 20% tariffs on Chinese products are still in effect? We had to raise prices 25% for all displays. Your show falling into a unique situation where a bid award has been extended, we're absorbing the additional expense to retain the contract for 2025. If the town wants to remain at 19,000, I understand and would ask if modifications to the show composition would be acceptable. I don't quite know what all those changes are yet, but yes, we are willing to do it for the same amount. So is there a motion to accept?
Well, the question
their
here
offer?
is, that we can do it for the same amount, or we can allow for the 10 to 15% increase?
That's what,
and-
that's what the
And I
question
think we
is.
should. I think we should. Price of inflation, the tariffs are just all over the place, and I think if we can lock in that price now, we'll be better off. So I would say, my recommendation would be the same show, up to 15% higher, and this is for next year,
For 26.
26, yeah.
Yeah, and if you talk to him, because this is dated the 26th of March, it's 2 weeks ago, but a lot has happened in 2 weeks. Tariffs are 125% with China right now, so. are these
That's
prices
why
the same?
I'm saying, if we can lock this in
Maybe he
at
hasn't read the paper yet.
15%, we lock it in.
Made it to Maine.
Or maybe he has all the fireworks already.
Yeah, probably,
be.
yeah.
Bin's full.
I just want to make sure they're the same.
So anyhow, with that said, and as Mitch clarified it,
So moved.
all right, motion's made
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? That's,
Even in between the other.
and I will say, our,
And that is the date, the July 3rd or the July 5th
Yes.
For
rain
this year?
date? No, for next year.
next year. What's
July
this
6th.
year?
The fourth falls on a Saturday.
What's this year?
This year is the 5th and 6th,
I think so.
but next year we went with Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so those of you at home, we are locked in on the fireworks for the holiday event for the 4th of July, and it's July 5th this year at the fairgrounds. July 5th is the fireworks in concert. We haven't even booked the band yet, did we? I wasn't sure. Oh, she's got it.
Mike over there.
Okay. I thought we hadn't booked that one yet. We're working on the fair, too, for something bigger. So for all of you at home, and if there's any large commercial enterprises out there that would like to make a significant donation towards the town's holiday 4th of July event, we are open at the First Selectman's office for any sort of corporate donation on that. Okay, yeah, I just said that about the fair. This is the 50th anniversary of the Orange Country Fair this year. So, yeah, so we're looking at trying to do a little bit more there. I know we just signed a contract yesterday that they voted on. There will be a pickup pull on Friday night this year. I think it's going to be beginning at 6:30 or 7. And the tractor pull on Sunday will both be pulling a sled this year as opposed to the stone boat drag that we had done in the past. I need to talk to Mr. and Mrs. Rotolo, and I think we're going to have a light menu, but I think we need to be open on Friday night this year, I guess. So, but yeah, so we signed a contract yesterday for that. They're going to have sled pulls for that. Still stone boat pull on Saturday for the doodlebugs, however. Okay, with that said, item number 7 is to consider an act on request to approve the tax refunds totaling $44,184.75. Sorry, that caught me there. All in favor? No, like, there's other things going on, which some of you know, and so that's why I think why my phone is lighting up. Okay, all in favor, we did on that one, very good. Last one on the public business here, why Mr. Foyer's still sitting here. To consider an act on the request to approve waiving the bid process using the state bid through Department of Administrative Services to purchase 2 new F-550 trucks for the Highway Department. They are in dire need, some down there are in very poor condition. And Donnie's, right, oh, he's already here, is up here to tell you what he's doing with that.
As Jim said, we have 2 trucks there that are well over, I don't know, 21, 22 years old, something like that. They've served the town well. They're mason dumps, but they're time to get replaced. So we're on the state website where if Public Works Department has a question or something, you throw it out there, and there's, I think out of 169 towns, there's like 160 on it. So I threw out there if anybody had bought any mason dumps within the last couple of years. And got several responses, and the one Mitch from Guilford there, Dave Castro? Yep. Yeah. He was, I guess they got one last year, 2 last year, and he sent me the specs, the whole 9 yards and everything else. So pretty much what we're looking for, they're actually twins to what you guys got. So I sent the boys out there on Friday, and again, the other half of the crew on Monday. And you guys were very, very accommodating out there. And so that's what we're looking to do, is get 2 of those trucks, state bid, as Jimmy said. There is 230 in the budget, and the trucks come in at 219, but I like to leave we have a couple of changes on the body, very minor changes. I want to put some fenders on them and stuff like that. So if I don't know how it works, but if you can leave that extra funding in there. I couldn't get the price change in time to get on the agenda for tonight.
So up to 230?
Yeah, yeah. And the May 2nd is when the actual Ford closes the dates for any additional new trucks. So we have to basically have to get it in before then. So that's where we are.
Sorry, hold on. Evidently, it's out there because people are asking me. Questions for Mr. Foyer on the 2 new trucks? Nope. All right. Is there a motion to be made on the 2 new trucks?
So moved as
As-
presented up
as-
to the 230.
Request,
As
okay.
requested.
All those in favor? Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Unanimous.
Thank you very much.
All set. All right. Pension Board, Mitchell.
No report this month.
Okay. Fred Wolf Park. No report?
Well, no, it's an ongoing process. The plan is to meet at the end of May, or beginning of June, to have our next meeting. We are bringing it together for a master plan, so it's kind of cool to see the process, and so we're moving forward.
Okay. Any questions for the committee? No? You're good tonight. Okay. That's all we have on public, and we have executive session. There were 2 tax appeal settlements with the judge this week. Proposed, which are in executive session. So with that said, is there a motion to go in executive session? Okay. Mills? Ready? Okay, and we have come out of executive session at 8:11. We had to have discussions on the proposed settlements of 2 tax appeals, one being where the former Walgreens is, and the other being Orange Plaza LLC, where the former Christmas Tree Shops was. Is there a motion to be made on those 2 proposals?
Yeah, I make a motion that we authorize the settlement as discussed in executive session for both.
Okay, is there a second on that? PJ's on that. All in favor? Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Unanimous? With that, as I already said, there's duck donuts that George brought. Here, it's an interesting concept. They just opened this week, but give it a try. With that said, motion to adjourn at 8:14. That's it, Amelia.